Gamebattles is the largest and longest running online service for competitive video game tournaments. The site was created by Chip Kellum in 2003 under the name SOCOMbattles.com. The modest site offered ladders, rules, and forums for gamers to congregate and compete. By the end of 2004, the website had already established 5 competitive ladders within SOCOM, as well as their first tournament. The young website touted its strong user base that averaged around 250,000 hits a day, with up to 11,000 unique daily users. They decided it was time to expand their operation from SOCOM to multiple online gaming platforms. And with that, the site was rebranded as Gamebattles.com. By 2007, Gamebattles had blown up in popularity. The site was home to over 500,000 gamers worldwide, and the rest of the gaming industry began to take notice. The company was acquired by Major League Gaming in 2007, and the website's growth began to skyrocket. If we fast forward just 5 years later, Gamebattles had more than 8 million users on their site. To show just how engaging this website was to gamers, the average user's dwell time was more than 18 minutes per session. In website talk, that's a lot of time. When I first started writing this video, I thought it was just going to be all about Gamebattles, but as I'm going through it, all of these emotions and memories bubble to the surface. So I was like, you know what? Why don't we tap into that? Everyone has their own window of nostalgia, but mine started somewhere around 2007. I was a middle school kid growing up in central Pennsylvania. There really wasn't that much to do in my hometown, and being 13 had its limitations. But video games gave 13-year-old Clay clear objectives to work towards. They taught me problem solving and communication, friendship, and more. Now, I acknowledge that there are way more productive things to do than play video games for 14 hours on a Saturday, and I encourage everyone to go outside, take a walk, look at nutrition facts, and get good sleep. All that good stuff. But at the same time, I've met some of my best friends through online gaming. We were just a bunch of middle school kids vegging out on games like Warhawk and Rainbow Six Vegas. In fact, my first experience with video editing came about when we were filming glitches on Call of Duty 4. I was 13 years old, and I literally tripoded my parents' camera and recorded the TV screen. And that was awesome. I love that was a part of my childhood. And looking back, I realized it wasn't as much the games that made childhood that much better, but the people who I got to share those experiences with. Take my older brother, for example. Growing up, he was the coolest kid in the world to me. He played basketball, and he drove a 1994 LeBaron convertible. The thing about my brother is, he never really made fun of my obvious obsession with video games. The PlayStation was in his room, but I think he knew that life was rough for me at that time. So he'd let me play in his room at all hours of the night. On Saturday afternoons, I'd sit in my Hot Boy gamer chair equipped with cup holders, back massagers, and surround sound speakers, and my brother would lay behind me, watching me play for hours. Between games, we'd talk. I would tell him about things my friends were saying or video game strategies we were doing. We'd talk about game battles or glitches and all the fun we had trolling with soundboards. He'd even occasionally hop on and play co-op mode with me. Those are the memories that I cherish to this day. And when I think back to the nostalgic soundtrack of Call of Duty 4, I find my brain conjuring up memories of time spent with my brother. And for that, I'm thankful. I also have to take time to talk about my online friends. There we were, a bunch of kids growing up in the early 2000s, and games were our outlet. At the end of each school day, our group of friends from across the country would squad up and play games together. It was wild to think about it then, and it's still wild to think about it now. A bunch of 13-year-old kids confined to our homes, no transportation, separated by states and miles and everything in between, and yet we were all great friends every day. The fact that we all had the ability to meet and become friends at all was and still is mind-boggling to me. Without games, I would have never crossed paths with these people. So I'm thankful that I had the opportunity to come of age through games. I wanted to take the time to make this video and appreciate games for what they are. I wanted to thank my brother for never poking fun at me, even though it would have been incredibly easy to if he wanted. And I wanted to thank my online friends for helping me through the tough times. And of course, I wanted to thank the artists who made these beacons of friendship that we call games. Games are a beautiful thing. They can be a very healthy outlet, and I encourage everyone to experience them. Of course, don't forget to drink your water, eat healthy, and go for walks. But also, take time to set up a LAN party with your friends or experience a new game with your baby brother. They may not know it at the time, but it'll mean the world to them.